Hi everyone, good evening everyone. It's 7:28 p.m. according to the IST. We will be starting our live sharp at 7:30 p.m. IST, and it is according to CET it is not evening yet, I think. So we'll be wishing everyone according to the IST 7:30 p.m. It's a good evening. I actually started the live by saying good morning. Actually, it is not. Even if it is 3 p.m., it is not good morning, it's good afternoon, according to the CET. So, our author will be joining in a minute. We are just waiting for her to join, and we'll start a session today with some insightful questions lined up. We are having two books on the plates. One is the Hindi version. Other is also the Hindi version, but we'll find some intro in the English segments, and the question format is completely English, and let's hope we are going to have a very insightful session. Finger crossed. I'm just going through the questions once. Didn't get time to revise the questions, so yeah. I think ma'am is already here. Just need to send her a request. Ma'am, just if you are here, if you are watching me, please do send me a request to join the live. Yes, ma'am, I did accept the request, but I don't know, you are not appearing on the screen. Maybe there is some technical glitch. We actually face this issue every time. Okay, I think that there is some technical glitch because it's showing unable to join. Ma'am, if you are here and hearing me out, then it's showing me that you're unable to join the live. Maybe there is some network issue. Let's wait for 5 more minutes. If author cannot join, then we have to again check on that. We will be back with the session. We will be hosting the session today itself. It's already 7:32 p.m.
There we are. Hi.
Finally. I just cannot express this same problem is happening for the past few months.
Oh.
Cannot join, author cannot join, or there is some problem from my end. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Actually, I had to restart my machine, so that's how it got me. Then when I logged in,
yeah,
it automatically asked me if you want to join the session.
Right. I was scared little that again the same glitch.
No, it happens. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. I'm fine, ma'am. You have such a sweet voice.
No, it's not like that.
So we'll start today's session. Before that, I just want to give a small description of yours. Okay, so we'll start with that. I got two different description of yours from the shopping site.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with on.
Mm.
I hope this will be enough. Yeah. So here we start with a light session. A warm welcome to you, Pramila Sudarshan Devi, and we'll start with a bio of yours. Pramila Devi Sudarshan Hidaram has basically done computer science from Pune and masters in innovation and entrepreneurship from University of Oslo, Norway. She is engrossed in poetry since she was very young. She is a full-time writer and endures to write in any mood. Thanks to her husband, Dr. Sudarshan, a senior cancer specialist in Norway, who empowers her to pursue her dreams. Her credit goes to her two daughters, Gauri and Gayatri, two who makes it facile for her. Pramila's parents, who are originally from Manipur and died, served the Indian army. With their support, she could always be herself and do her best. Pramila is the only Manipuri Pravasi poetess from Norway who writes in Hindi. Pramila is settled in Norway since 2005. Her love for poetry keeps her occupied and added to poetry. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That was
Yes.
in detail.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, today we'll be discussing some general questions and basically on your two books, that is Mera To Ye Main Bhi Nahi and the other one is Ayushya. And we'll start with some general question first and then we're having few questions on your book also. Like very much bookish oriented questions which we study for our academics basically. Yes, so ma'am, first of all, we would like to hear a few lines about your book and a short description of the contents that we can get to know from your book.
Very nice. Actually, I have published two books. Mera To Ye Main Bhi Nahi, first book.
Yes, ma'am.
And the second book is Ayushya. It's both a poetry book. I'm basically a poet, but as we say that an author is an author. He or she can write in all different genres. So this one, first book, Mera To Ye Main Bhi Nahi. Title tells it all. It's in Hindi. I love to write in Hindi. I'm a KV product. I studied at KV. So my Hindi is more fluent. Won't say English is not as fluent, but Hindi is like मातृभाषा. जब बहुत गुस्सा आता है या बहुत emotions होते हैं, then I say that in English. Hindi, sorry. So it comes out in Hindi. Although my mother tongue, my parents' mother tongue, because they are from Manipur, so they speak Manipuri, Maithiron. But I understand, I speak a bit, but not very fluent because we were always in Pune and dad was in the army and all that. So this book tells a lot about an identity of a person, astitva. Mera kya hai? What do I own? What do I have? I don't have my own self. That tells in short that none of us, we live in a reality, but we don't know what is ours. At the end of the day, nothing stays with us, because when we talk in terms of spirituality also, nothing, one day we all have to leave, but what do we take with us? So it tells a little bit about philosophy, little bit about our chores. It's like a poetic autobiography. So this is the first book. Second book is more motivational, based on the Veer Ras. Veer Ras but means more like motivation for the country, nationalism and all that. So bravery and more like doing something for the nation and all that. So this book tells a lot about motivating the youth, motivating the youngsters, and even many different philosophies are also discussed here. Sahitya is also discussed here in both the books. I love this philosophy of life and all that, and I dig more into it and love to read books on that. So that tells in short about it. I see a lot of people are joining. Okay, if you wish, I can read some few lines from my book.
Yes. Yes. We would love to hear from both the books, ma'am.
Yeah. First, I'll start with the first book.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll start with the first book. Mera To Ye Main Bhi Nahi. Just hold on. अब केवल किस्से कहानियों की बात है, अब केवल अंधेरी रात है, या कह लो शाम ढलने को है, एक नए सवेरे की तलाश है। शाम सूरज से न सही चंद्रमा ही की बात है, अंधेरा भी इसी में है और उजाले की तलाश है। ये केवल
Wonderful.
ये केवल उजाले अंधेरे ही की बात नहीं, ये अब एक प्रभात नहीं, ये शाम ही से शुरू हुआ था, सवेरा नहीं प्रभात नहीं, मीन्स नॉट द मॉर्निंग बट अ न्यू मॉर्निंग। कभी अश्रु रंग से थे, कभी साथी संग से थे, कभी स्वयं ही में मैं के, मेरा तो ये मैं भी नहीं। This is from the page 9 and 10. I'll
9.
like to read the last few lines.
Sure, ma'am.
I hope people understand Hindi. If somebody need the translation, you can jot it down there. I'll tell in short. आयु ये युगों का था यहीं, जीर्णता अपरिवर्तनीय, अनुभूति अत्यधिक विश्रम्भ विपुल या व्यर्थ, विशाल काय हृदय में कहीं अदृश्य है, प्रच्छन्न है कि ये मेरा तो ये मैं भी नहीं। फिर क्या पाया क्या खोया इस बीच, पाने खोने के आकलन पर, ज्ञात ये कि कुछ नहीं न कुछ ही ले जाऊंगी, ये आए थे हम चले जाएंगे, न अपेक्षा न ये मंद। ये अस्पृष्ट अनकहे शब्द, ये मायने है क्या भी, जांच पर ये हो ज्ञात न था भी न ही कभी, मायना तो शायद स्वयं पर ही हो, और जब पता चले स्वयं ही नहीं, क्योंकि मेरा तो ये मैं भी नहीं। कुछ बदला कुछ बदलने को है, कुछ सुलझा कुछ उलझने को है, सर्वत्र भाग्य है या भोग, रुका अभी ये समय ही है। So it's a few more lines, but that's the book first.
Yes.
So you can see I write more depth in this thing, because it's a poetry book. It's not because each line tells a lot. Every word.
And poetry cannot be mechanical.
Yeah.
Poetry needs a lot more emotions and lots of depth also.
Yeah.
When the author or poetess, if we have to clearly mention you here as a poetess, if someone is writing, so that's need more depth than normal prose writing, I feel.
And in this Mera To Ye Main Bhi Nahi, because it's an autobiography, every word, every line, every para is a phase of my life. It tells a lot abstractly, not in detail, but it tells a lot, and it has a deep meaning to it.
Yes.
So now I read from Ayush here. It's also based on Sahitya. Let's read this book, poetry called Patang. कभी उड़ी कभी कटी ये उम्मीद ये उड़ान, कभी डोर से कभी बिन डोर, ये छोर ये पड़ाव, ये मांझे के बिना ये कैसी दिशा, ये मांझे पर भी ये कहाँ उड़ी, अब कटे तो क्यों क्या छूटे मंजिल, न कटे तो क्या गंतव्य यही। ए पतंग मेरी पतंग तू उड़ बस उस उड़ान पर, लक्ष्य का बोध रख मार्ग तू ही चुन, अब आएंगे राह में कई कठिनाइयां, प्रतियोगिता अन्य से नहीं स्वयं ही से है, लक्ष्य भेद मार्ग चुन तू उड़ उस उड़ान पर। ए पतंग मेरी पतंग कभी भेद रंग का और कभी ये आकार कहीं, उड़ान तो सभी भरे तू उड़ उस उड़ान पर। ए पतंग मेरी पतंग, ये आशा ये निराशा ये उत्थान ये पतन ये ऊंचाई ये जमीन, ये कैसी है होड़, अंत में सभी भू का हिस्सा, उड़े भी थमे भी ये साध्य असाध्य सम्मिलित हुए यही महत्व। ए पतंग मेरी पतंग, असंभव कुछ नहीं असाध्य कुछ नहीं, तू उड़ बस उस उड़ान पर। So it is more like motivating the people, not just youngsters, it's for everybody. I myself see in my friend circles and all that, who are very demotivated in life. Everything is going fine, but there are some of the other reasons. So you have to be motivated and some reason in life to live, and beautiful hobbies are there. You should pursue that, and life is beautiful, as I always say. So that
right, and I think positivity is very much important, because there will be some times, there will be some ups and downs, but coming out from it and recovering, that's very much important. And for that we need some inspirational pieces like the books you wrote. These are very much inspirational, so once we are down, so we can read this and we can get through such situations.
Yes,
and we can fight back.
True. Very true. So it's very important to be like being motivated in life, and
right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for reading out the lines for us. We are really blessed that you agreed to read that few lines from your book and help us to know more about your book. So, ma'am, as you mentioned in the blurb, this book is just a summary of feelings which we all come across once in life at least. This is for your first book I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Just a few words I would like to know.
It is like, how do I say? It's like we all have experiences from we are little. We have friends. We fight with friends.
Yes.
There are philosophies where we come across in some point of time that we really want to. We find out our identity, what we are, where did we come from. Like everybody go through this phase of life.
Hmm.
So one has to go read the book and find out that what is
Yes, find out the rest.
the real
Thing.
essence. Yeah, what is the real essence in that? Because if I
Yeah,
tell you, then it's autobiography. It's in short from I was little to now, what phases I've gone through. There are some motivational thing, like when we say that when we are in like pani mein hai, kitne pani mein hai. There's a lovely phrase, a paragraph telling about that. There's one philosophy about mountain, like when we climb up in the mountain, we should, teachers say when we are going out for trip or something, never look back. I say that you should look back and you should see where you have come from and how far you have to go and from where did you started. So you know
right.
that you've gone quite far and there's a lot more to it. So it's just it's a lovely poetry. I
Right.
myself love to read it sometimes when I sit, and it gives a good feeling. Actually, it was a feeling I had written it long before in 2007 or even earlier than that, 2006
Okay.
or 7 or something. And I had collected. One day I was in India and I came back and I was in a very good mood, and I wrote 2 books, one book in each day. And then it was a good collection of books. Since then I wanted to publish, but life and career and everything, that we all are in a like everybody has to make career and make yourself secure and all that. That's a natural part of life. But at certain point of time, like where I am today, and many from my age, like the generation, they realize that the time we spend so much, like I was very ambitious when I was young, and at certain point of time we realized that ये जो भागदौड़ है, what is in there, what अगर आपके पास, if you have enough resources to live a good comfortable life, then pursue what you want to do in life. And there is a phase, even in astrology we say, at the age of that, after 40, 41, 42, you come to a phase where you realize what you really want to do in life. And I've gone through it, and there's a lot of changes in me, and I realized that this is what I wanted to do, and I should have pursued it from I was young. But you have to go through phases to realize the real essence of what you really wanted to do. जैसे कि आप चढ़े नहीं, आपको पता कैसे चलेगा कि आप कहाँ पर हो या आपको जाना कहाँ है, where you have to go. Actually, you can say that I will never say that my education is in vain, because I've learned a lot through my education also. And putting into that situation, you can always, you are always secure. You can always go back. You can always do something you have to do for your life. Although pursuing your dreams is what everything, which is very important. Obviously, as an author, it's not like you cannot think ki you'll make money out of writing. Later in life, maybe when Yoganand, what is that bestseller, autobiography of a yogi and all that, wo to
Yes.
global bestseller. So that's a totally different thing. But you never know where life will lead you to, where your book will lead you to. So I feel happy at the end of the day ki I'm doing what I wanted to do always from
Right.
little. I have always
Right.
been.
And I think, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You say.
Tell me. Tell me.
Hi, I was going to say that I think we must take that particular step in our life.
Yeah,
Without taking step and without think and beforehand thinking that nothing will happen and it will not give any result to our life. I think this won't make anything up. I think it's better to take a step and see whether what happens or not. And if something doesn't work properly, in that case, we can try our best. We can again try to make things work. So I think this is a cycle that goes on. and we must follow this circle, and this circle of this cycle, and I think we will get to something very good,
So
something very positive.
it's very important because when we are young, we don't realize we are like our parents say, "Ye karna hai, kar lo." There are very few kids who pursue, who quit everything, go against their parents' will, and do what they want to do.
Right.
In my case, somewhere, yeah, I can say that it was my parents also, especially my father, who wanted me to do computers. I was never interested in computers, but then there was so much of mathematics to study. There was so much of statistics to study in depth. Then at the end of the day, in the last year, I was like, "Ab to mathematics mein kuch karna chahiye." But then that's mathematics is lovely. I have done in so much in depth that I love maths. It's just that zindagi mein har cheez nahi kar sakte. You cannot do everything in
Yeah,
life. So when
yeah,
I came,
we cannot.
yeah, so when I came to Norway, I was planning to do masters. I had the opportunity to do either in mathematics, or it was like a technical MBA, which finally I chose. But I wanted to really pursue mathematics. But
Okay.
here, but that was more like an interest, But at the end of the day, writing has its own charm, and I have always been writing from I was little, and yeah, I have like few of the things which I like to do is writing, cooking, and
Okay.
singing, and I love music, any type of music, like soothing, lyrical, good words, musical music. It can be a Spanish music, it can be any music is music.
Okay, okay, that's great.
Yeah, music is the language of heart. It doesn't speak countries or different places. So I think at the end of the day, it's very, you all should pursue something what you like to do.
Like to do.
Although I understand India, there's so much traffic. By the way, here I live a bit far from the center. Center of traffic here also during office hours. It's very traffic, but it's more peaceful, and it's like a valley, and there are small hills around. Actually, I'm sitting in a view where there's a view of hill, but right now it's foggy because of, not foggy, it's because it has been raining very much. First it was snowing very much, and now it's raining very much, so it's all slushy, and it was very difficult. I just brought my daughters now to football, and
Right,
it was
right.
it was this much ice slush, the watery ice, this
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
This much snow melted to this. It was very difficult.
yeah.
But bottom line is that do what you want to do in life. At least some time of your daily schedule take out for what you like to do,
Yes.
and things go fine.
And things get better actually. Like if we do something that we like to do, I think the situation gets better. Like
Yeah,
if you are into a bad mood, or we do not want to do anything good in life, I think
yeah,
at that particular moment, that particular thing will let us know that we have something more better to do in our life, I think.
true.
Like just sitting idly and just doing nothing, uh,
Yeah,
that's not good, I think.
like
And
like
and you,
tell
yes, ma'am, say so.
me. Uh,
Oh, I was going to say about recollection, that you talked about, no, ki, not looking back, as you say, that we must look back and we just see those memories or past, whatever it is. I think recollection is very much important because
mm,
it pushes us into retrospection, and
oh,
retrospection is again important process to become a good human being, or to notice something that sometimes we overlook, because
that
it's
is
not possible for us to go through everything in our life. So
right.
recollection is a very good process, I think.
Mm.
I'm just cutting you in between, so ma'am, you speak first.
No,
Yes,
actually,
I'll
what has
keep cutting
happened
you
is
like this.
because there's a delay, some few fractions of second delay. So when I thought that you are stopped and I will speak, then you thought I'm stopped, and so it's not your fault. So it's totally all right. Technology there is all pros and cons in technology also. So that's
Yes,
absolutely
yes.
right.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you were talking about something, ma'am, so we'd like to know that.
I was saying, yeah, I forgot actually. What was I talking about?
I made you forget. I made you forget. I just
No, I was about to say something. Yeah, yes, I remember. what happened is, for example, as we all know, that health is very important, especially like when you grow, when you're young, between 20 to 30, we all are in a very healthy, the peakest mode of our life, that we are the most healthy. And after 24 or 30, our health start declining. Everybody, because we are human and we are mortal. And what happens is, after a certain age, you realize many things, that health is so important. Day and night I worked hard. I means anybody who works hard. For what? You have enough. You don't have to collect too many things. As long as you have enough to survive, that is more than enough. And then at certain point of time, when you have diabetes, which is like getting a pandemic now, and different hypertension, people are getting at an early age. So coming to the diabetes thing, sugar, I'm a bit pre-diabetic. So I see that when I'm stressed, so obviously cortisol level go high, sugar goes high. So when you go out in the walk, for example, or in a garden, sit or walk for a while, sugar goes down. Why? Because you are relaxed. And when I write, somebody may be painting, somebody may be exercising, somebody may be singing. So when I write, I'm in my best health. And at this age of time, I realize it's so important not to affect your health. This body which God has given, we should not make it suffer. When you are hungry, eat. When you are thirsty, drink, like we say. When you have an urge to write, an urge to dance, an urge to paint, do it. Take out time for that. So it's very important to do, because it's a lot happens in our body, and we have to let our body relax and listen to him what he wants to do. So yeah, I will say that definitely pursue what you like to do every day. Little time, half an hour, 1 hour. So very important.
Right. Right. So, we can conclude like this, like giving time to ourselves, giving time to the things that we like. It's very, 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 very much important. There should be so many, very, 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 to emphasize the situation, that it's really very much important for us to do this particular thing, to keep us happy, to keep our body happy, and be healthy also at the same time. Right, ma'am?
Yeah, true. We all are busy. I mean, everybody is so much occupied, and I see people running and racing against time, including me. But I make sure, I make sure that every day there is time from 11 to 2, which is totally dedicated to my writing, even on weekends, whenever I can, because kids are home, there are activities to do. But if kids are home, they are busy doing something, then I have time for myself. And I have made a space in a corner of the house where I'm sitting now. So you have a space of yourself, and you always dedicate that time for yourself. And I love to do that. And everybody should have a space in their house. It can be a corner, it can be anywhere. I understand space is a challenge everywhere, but take out a space. It's you can sit on the floor in a corner and have that space, and try to sit in that place for 10 minutes every day, so that you start liking that place. It can be anywhere.
Right.
And then when you sit there, you start, after a certain while, whichever corner is it can be a locked, closed room, but you have some light and it doesn't have to have a view, because it's not possible to have view all the time, but there should be one corner for yourself where you dedicate for yourself. And rest is like, everything will follow after that. People do wonders, So I'm dedicating every day 3-4 hours for myself, and glad that lot of new projects come up in writing, like in anthologies I'm working on now, and my third book is so and 3-4 books all in the queue, which have like more than half the material ready. Just have to focus time is very difficult, with 2 kids and busy husband and busy wife and everything in the peak school age. It's very difficult to manage, but that's how we have to take out time.
We have to write. We must.
So,
right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful answer. Ma'am, I just want to know that what are the essential elements that make your book different from other pieces?
I will say that every book is unique, definitely, because every
Hmm.
human is unique. And in my book, I have discussed about one paragraph, like that all the five fingers are not same. That means to say that no human being is same. You
See.
can see even the trees, leaves in the trees. For example, there is a mango tree. Every leaf is different than the other leaf. Every coconut. I remember when I was young, I was buying a coconut and something, I came and returned it or something. He said, yes, this is my coconut. That coconut man knew that this is his coconut. So in writing also, because he has been seeing things, although all the coconut look same, you know. So we all are, everybody has different thoughts. This book is unique because it definitely I have not achieved anything great in life like people do, but it's a path I have gone through, and many people like people like-minded, like people like me, and
Mhm.
almost
Mhm.
everybody has gone through it. So it tells a lot about your feelings, your heart, what you've gone through in this many years, and how do you realize, and how do you went into spiritualism. Although I'm not a hardcore spiritual person, but
Mhm.
I very much I'm very
I'm
much
also not.
I'm very much a believer of karma, and obviously I'm Shiv, I believe in Shiva and things like that. So I think it's unique because it has its own charm. It tells about me. It tells about people like me, and it's a lovely book. It's as when I read, it tells we all are lonely, not lonely. We all are solitude. Lonely
Yes.
happens when you are left alone. Solitude
Left
when you
alone.
start loving your loneliness. That is called
Yes.
solitude.
Right.
So this
Somewhere
books in
it's
general,
our own choice.
yeah. So lonely and solitude. Even in Norwegian, there is a word. Ensom means, I think, loneliness, something like that. And I am not very fluent in that, but there are words. So lonely is a different word. Ekaki in Hindi. We
Hmm.
all are ekaki. हम
Right.
सभी एक 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 मात्र हैं, एकाकी हैं. Means we all are, we should be happy in our solitudeness. So I enjoy my solitudeness, although I have a good circle of friends, but I love my own space. And this book tells about ekakiness, like
Right.
the solitudeness, and how we people like me who love philosophy, who love life, how we go through it. So it's different. It's definitely different. And the my book, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. It has gone to NFTC in November. It will go to NFTC, and if the book
Okay.
select, maybe there will be a movie. Who knows? But I'm not.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God,
very
that's
much.
great.
It's selected from my publishers. Let's see
Okay.
if they select, if the NFTC, if the producers or directors or whoever. There's a big fest in Goa in November. So if they like the book, they can make a story out of it, and then it is, we'll see. So yeah.
Then we will be we will be the happiest and the proudest because we get to read the author. Then we are also doing some live interviews with the author. You hear, so we will be the happiest
No,
and the
it's
proudest to see our
it's
author shining like that.
yeah. No, if I was Ambani or Sudha Murthy or something, I would have made a movie out of it. But I'm myself, and I'm happy that even if few people, like-minded people, read my book and they enjoy it, they relate to it,
Yes.
that is more than enough for me. Movie to alag hi level ki baat hai. I've never thought about it, but my publisher said about it, and I was like, ठीक है, देखते हैं. Let's
Why
go for it, and
not? Yeah.
but they have thousands of books, so they selected few of them where my book was there, and they have put it into NFTC, and there'll be a fest, and everybody will be there, and all the big companies, publishers, and this thing. So we'll see.
Mhm.
Like the movie Lunchbox, that has come from a
Yes.
book.
Yes.
There is a movie,
Yes.
Chatterjee versus Norway. That is a
Yes.
story I know, which was,
That's also.
I remember in my time, that was also from a book. And Two states, or what was that state ka movie na? Do alag de, state ke prank
Yes,
ke
yes,
bacche.
two states, two
Two states.
states.
That's also from a movie.
Yes,
Three
yes.
Idiot is from a movie. I didn't know Three Idiot is from a book. Sorry, I think Chetan Bhagat ki book hai. Haan.
Ha,
So,
Chetan Bhagat. And Chetan Bhagat's half girlfriend is also the other one.
Half Girlfriend. Yes, yes, yes. Half Girlfriend also.
That's book. That's book.
Yeah.
Yes.
तो अलग level का है. They work in a very high level, and
Yeah.
obviously
And
they,
you are no less than that,
no,
ma'am.
no,
Because
no.
I finished reading your books and they're just awesome. They're just awesome. So
No,
I have to say this thing. Like it's really great, both the books.
I wish I could write stories also. Stories means although when I tell like my babies, I tell them stories every night, almost every night. So I make jokes and this thing. But I think kahani likhna is a very, very, very good talent. If I could write stories, I would love to write baby story, you know, bachon ki kahaniyan, small kids stories. But
Right.
I cannot make stories. At some point of time, I block myself. Like
Okay.
I don't know what to do right further. But poetry
Yes.
is my genre, and I
Right.
love to write, and I write. I love to write, so it's my area.
Right,
So,
ma'am. Right. That's amazing, ma'am. You just gave us a wonderful news, and we are just looking forward to congratulate you once again with the upcoming news that you're going to give us. We wish you all the best for that.
thank you.
Ma'am, we would like to hear from you. What is your daily writing routine and the process by which you work yourself for a new book? So already, I think we got to know your daily writing routine.
Yeah. The book or the anthologies I'm working on now, anthologies, and that time is my time. There are some days where, like sometimes plan leggings dag means there is a kids off or some national holiday, Christmas.
Right.
That is the time I give for the family. But every day, 11 to 2 is my work hours, and I do that no matter what. Even on weekends, if I get time, I do that. So Saturdays, so because my companies, my publishers are open on Saturdays, there's a lot of discussions goes on Saturday.
Right.
So Saturdays I definitely work at least till Norwegian time, 1 or 2 o'clock. Even if I have to do something, I'll do after that. But Sunday I try to give a break to myself. But that is the
Very much
time
important.
which is just my time, me time I call it. So I give it to myself and love doing that. I look forward to it every day, you know. You don't know, there is I wait for like jaldi utna hai, bachchon ko school chhodna hai, I have to drop the kids to school, and then okay, now is my time. A heavy good breakfast and then sit and do my time. Best part is you have your space, you can go and get your tea, Indian chai anytime, coffee anytime. I started liking black coffee. अपने मर्जी से जाओ, लो, बैठो अपने स्पेस पे आराम से. there's no, जब कोई सर पे बैठा होता है ना, ये टाइमलाइन है, इसको you have to do this, you have to finish this, वो बहुत स्ट्रेस हो जाता है, you know. Here there's no timeline. I decide my time. I meticulously do things which I like to do and when I want to finish it. There's nobody pushes me, and I'm very happy.
Yes. This is really great. Like there will be no restrictions to such works. Nobody will be there shouting from the back, you have to do this, you have to do that, and
I
this is the
remember
timeline.
when I was, when I was working, I remember how timelines work and
Yes,
the
ma'am.
levels. But तब तो I was young, we all are young, तो चलता है, you know. But उससे health को
Yes,
affect
with
होता है,
age.
you know. Yeah, that affects your health. And working in stress, living in stress, what is there in life, you know? That's why I'm trying to make my kids secure enough so they don't have to struggle in life, and they can do what they want to do. Like my little girl is started making her YouTube channel and Roblox characters. Not herself, she don't come herself online, but she make characters from Roblox and makes short reels and all that and put in.
Okay.
And I totally support her, you know, because this is technology and she's more advanced in that. So we all should, like as a baby, I let them do what they like to do, and that's how we all should do what they like to do. Morally, ethically, and like as the normally, like if I want to go and do something wrong thing, that's not done. What you're doing, you like to do, should be morally, ethically correct, you know. Like to
Right.
do means कुछ भी नहीं करना है, you know. There are things कि कुछ चीजें नहीं करनी चाहिए. Those things we should not do. But what you like to
Right.
do, hobbies, pursue that
With good intentions.
with good
Do everything with good
intentions.
intentions.
हाँ, किसी का बुरा नहीं. Actually, recently what is happening is I listen to like people, like I listen to Sadhguru, I listen to Osho, especially Rajneesh when he was young, when he started this thing. His philosophy is he's a great man. ये तो अलग ही बात है. But lately, what he went into, and that's a very saddening thing. Like how like how he was. Anyways, everybody knows his story. So, but his teachings are very meaningful. So I listened to him, and bottom line was, what was I about to say was, I forgot. It is the bottom line is that anyways, when I remember, we'll talk about it. But listen to these people. Yeah, karma. Yes, karma. So it कुछ भी कर लो, कर्म से आप छूट ही नहीं पाओगे. What you do, you will get it. You will get it. बचपन से we heard, क्योंकि you know इंडिया में तो we it's in our दिनचर्या. कर्म की बात करना, गलत ना करना, not to do wrong things. It's in our दिनचर्या. But lately I realize it myself कि how important karma matters. Good thing, good deeds, you know, अच्छे कर्म करना, किसी का बुरा नहीं करना. It comes back to you no matter what, you know.
Yes.
और चीज थी, what was that? One was karma and one more was there. It was it's a circle, you know. Never do wrong, and it's very very important to one more thing. I tell my friends, like they discuss, and I tell them, if there is a solution, solve it. Like problems in life, if there's no solution, leave it as it is. But in my life, I used to say it, but recently I see, अरे इसका क्या करना है, इसका तो कोई solution ही नहीं है. छोड़ दो, distract करो अपने आप को, watch a movie, listen to some good songs, or write something. You're distracted. There's no solution. Why to waste time on that, you know?
Right.
So I think funda in life, it is very important to follow. So
Right. And we will end up to nothing, I think. With things we don't have solutions, I think we will not end up to anything. Just we can try once finding out, and if not, then we have to leave it as it is.
Yes, and time is a great healer. Time solves all the problems.
Right. Right.
कुछ प्रॉब्लम खास तौर से दोस्तों के बीच भी देखना, there are types की, अरे अब मेरी उस दोस्त से बात नहीं हो रही. Leave it to time.
Yes, ma'am.
अपने आप कहीं ना कहीं से you both will patch up and you'll come together. This also is discussed in
and
book.
Especially the fights that friends go through. Oh my God, the fights.
I never had fights.
I never had it, but I have witnessed. I have witnessed people having, and I was shocked.
That's a typical girl. That way
very much.
I'm not very typical girl. Like I believe I have seen myself. Ladkiyan, not ladies, but girls. They have really fought. I have seen it when I was young. And but that's the beauty of girls being a girl, and I see my daughters.
and they talk about anything, and the fights are so intense. I was just scared, like a few years back, to witness that, and I was like, how are they speaking actually?
Yes.
The way of speaking is also like, ma'am, very bad and very much insane.
Yes.
Like I was like, okay, TK, I am not here anymore. Not going to witness these things anymore. This will give me nightmares.
I have discussed a paragraph on that as well in the book.
Yes, yes. So, right, ma'am, right.
It's in general talk about life and lovely.
Yes. Very much relatable. Also, ma'am, in your book, Mera Tu Ye Main Bhi Nahi, the first chapter has the same name as the title of your book. It talks about vichar, which is the Hindi word, vichar with its English meaning justice. On what basis do you frame this piece?
Just hold on. It's actually vichar doesn't mean justice. Vichar
Yeah.
means thoughts. Vichar means talk. Vichar
Thoughts.
means like क्या होता है ना
Yes.
कि vichar is a word from Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is a word,
Hmm.
is a language which has one word with many meaning.
Yes,
One word has many.
ma'am.
For
This
example,
is the thing
calm.
because
Yeah,
hmm.
calm means calm bhi, or calm bhi means
Hmm.
it has one word has many meanings. Vichar can be justice, but it's not justice. Justice is
Yeah, yeah.
actually the meaning is nyay for justice.
Right.
So the
And
time,
this goes with the legal thing, which are with justice. I think this goes hand in hand with the legal thing. But readers with a single sitting reading, and they may interpret it as a justice.
yeah.
So that's why I took out this
Yeah.
question so that they get a clear vision of the meaning and the term, because it goes with much more legal things.
Actually, the first line, the first page of the book, I'll read out and you will understand it yourself. It's not the
Yes,
first
yes.
poetry which is named as the book. There's no name, no title in the whole book. It's
No,
like an autobiography. So there are
right.
every para is a phase of my life. So
Yes,
this tells about,
yes.
see, वो समय कुछ और था. It started like this. वो समय कुछ और था और अब कुछ और सही. उन विचारों की अपनी बात थी. अब कुछ और ही है. उन विचारों की अपनी बात थी. अब कुछ और ही है. प्रसन्नता तब इस बात की कि हम एकाकी ही सही. प्रसन्न अब भी हैं कि हम एकाकी ही हैं. So it means vicharo means the face, the talk, the thought, the everything like that. So it's in general saying about my thoughts, you know. So this is the first. I have the handwritten version.
Yes.
So now the new type version has come. I hope you got the type version when you ordered the
Yes.
word format, huh?
Yes.
This is a handwritten
Word
version,
format.
but it was not
Okay.
PDF. It was a picture, so it is a gray shade, but it's handwritten.
Handwritten.
So it's vichar means my thoughts, my the process, the process of life in that phase. So yeah.
And ma'am, if as a reader I interpret it as justice, then what you have to say? If it is not justice,
Yeah,
then what you have to say in
it
that
can be,
sense?
it can be justice also. Justice to life. Like un
Justice
vicharon
to.
ki baat thi means that phase, that phase has its own, that time of life has its own how do I say, I'm going out of words, like that was a time and this is a time. So in
Right.
there's no nyai or justice in that, but I mean to say that that was a phase and this is a phase. So I accept both that phase and this phase, and life goes on. Life is beautiful. So it's in simple, it says that that was a phase and this is another phase.
Phase. Right. So we can conclude it as a phase, right?
It's a phase, yeah. A thought process or the
Thought
phase
process.
which I've gone through, that was another type, and this is another type. So it tells about that.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing this. Because I really had a doubt on this, like it is justice or is it something else? So thanks a lot. Also, ma'am, as an author, what qualities one must imbibe? Is it only reading books?
Okay. Yeah, I read that this thing. It's like as an author, if you write because you're born with that quality, you don't have to gain any other externally. You have it in you. You don't have to read books to write book. I think my babies come, they will go up. I told them to go up. You don't have to read books to write books. You have to know that. Like, for example, I'm not a keen avid reader. I'm more a writer. I create, I write poetry, but I love to read what I like to read. Nobody can push me to read, ये book है, इसको पढ़. नहीं होता. So I think to be a writer, you don't have to be a reader. You're a writer because that quality you imbibe with you when you were born with. और जब हम when you're studying also, जब पढ़ाई हम करते हैं, तो you get to know कि हाँ, this is my quality. I can paint well. I can write well. I can sing well. I can play an instrument well. So I think follow your heart, likho, and every writing is beautiful. In one of my interview also I said, कुछ भी लिखो, छोटा बच्चा भी लिखता है. My daughter started writing. Go on. So My daughters have come. So I say, whatever you write is beautiful. It may not be very lyrical, but everyone who writes is beautiful. Writing is a
Yes.
beautiful. Everybody doesn't have to be a writer. If you have it in
Mhm.
you, you go ahead and do that, pursue that, or as a hobby. So I think you're born with it, and if you love it, go ahead and do it. But writer doesn't have to be a reader, and reader
Right.
doesn't have to be a writer as well. So, or you can have both. You write also,
Hmm.
don't come.
Hmm.
You write also, and you read also. That is like my husband. He write also, although he don't get time, but he love to read. He reads, and reads, and
Hmm.
he love to write. But he has difficult like time.
Right.
Cannot take out much. Yeah.
Right, because it's not compulsory actually the
Yeah.
reader to be a writer, writer to be a
नहीं,
reader. What you said is
जरूरी
really
नहीं है.
true. Yeah,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
yeah. And if that's the case also, like a reader is a writer, then it's great. If it is not, then also it's great. We have to take both the things like positively. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's very easy thing
True.
that to be a writer without being a very good reader. But at least reading one to two books, a person should read at least.
नहीं
Like
नहीं
reading nothing.
reading should
That
reading. देखो, that's what I love about these two men I read about. When I like a personality, whoever, he can be a philosopher, he
Mhm.
can be a big like Elon Musk. उसका
Yes.
मैंने biography read about him. He was an avid reader. He had a library in his house and used to read, and there he is. Another example is Rajneesh Osho. He has read
Yes.
more than 100,000 books. 3 लाख किताबों से भी ज्यादा पढ़ा है. कहाँ से
Right.
knowledge आया? From books. Obviously,
Books.
these guys are avatars. I think they are not like normal people. They are born with it. They
Yes.
have generations of accumulated knowledge, and at the end of the day, they become like this. They are not normal people. What Osho was, what Krishna was, he was a human too, but he was an avatar. Such people are one of its own kind. So, but reading has its own charm. Read as much as you can. Every book has its meaning. It's just that some people are very much into reading, some people are not very much into. Not very much
Into.
into क्योंकि उन्हें वो essence पता ही नहीं चला
Hmm.
कि पढ़ने में कितना मजा है. What is that fun in reading? But give them
Reading.
something which they like to do. Suppose अगर किसी को gaming करना शौक है, there's a book about gaming, how to make an app or something. वो बच्चा पढ़ेगा.
Hmm.
Or that adult who likes to do he will read.
Right.
So yeah. So
Very
reading has
true.
its own charm.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true. Also, ma'am, in your book, Aisha, you wrote the first chapter titled Matribhumi. Ma'am, what made you write on this topic?
Matrubhumi, very important because I have a different identity. Like I can say, like I was born in somewhere else. My parents are from
Mm-hmm.
Manipur, brought up in Pune, came to Norway. So a person like me who has shift places,
Mm-hmm.
Matrubhumi becomes a very important part in his life or in her life. So Karambhumi and Matrubhumi, two different things. But I personally believe, although I totally respect कि हम देश के लिए करें वो करें and all that, I understand. But जो जमीन में आप खड़े हो, जिस भी जमीन पर खड़े हो, वो जमीन आपकी माँ. The soil where you're standing, the place where you're standing, wherever. Like today, I'm in Norway. Norway is my mother. If I'm in India, India is my mother. If I'm in Pakistan, Pakistan is my mother. So it's about where you stand, the place which give you a good life, a good cultural values. That is your mother. It's a few lines I will read about that. मातृभूमि वीरों की भूमि मेरी मातृभूमि वर्षों का नहीं युगों का है मनुष्यों का नहीं ऋषियों का है प्रवासियों को पनाह दे माँ तू माँ ही है प्रत्येक व्यक्ति समान ये भूमि मेरी मातृभूमि अनेक देवों की भूमि अनंत माँ शक्ति की भूमि उपजाऊ भी कृषियों की भूमि ये भूमि मेरी मातृभूमि and it's a lovely book. अगर मैं सारी किताबें यहाँ पढ़ने बैठ गई तो फिर then कुछ पढ़ने के लिए रह ही नहीं जाएगा. But it's a lovely poetry. But it tells about Matrabhumi because because Norway is my Matrabhumi now, Karambhumi, where I am
Yes.
living now, and this country which gives me pride and everything about my identity. So yeah, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
say.
actually, this particular concept is very much important, as you mentioned, because I also believe the same. Talking about this particular what Matribhumi is and how one connect with it, like, because the way I'm going to think about it or going to have a connection with it, you will be having a very different story behind it or a very different connection. So, which you talked about just now. Also, Ma'am, Ayushya inspires youth to endure and succeed in life and at work. It signifies the beauty of life and Mother Earth. According to you, how can success be balanced, and how can we connect the beauty of life and Mother Earth with such concepts?
Success is very subjective. Like for a person who's ambitious, a person who wants to become great, very big businessman, for him success is that. Success for a person who's in class 3rd or 10th, for him to score more than 90, 80, 70, whichever he has put his level to. So success is very, very, very subjective, and we all love to have success. In my case, success for me is peace of mind. At the end of the day, I go to bed and say, I had a good day. I utilize my day good. Like when it comes to writing, finally I achieved that milestone. I finished my 3rd book or 2nd book or whatever. So success is very different for everybody. But I want to say again, life is not just about earning a lot of money. I understand people who have struggled when they were little, they want to, but what you don't get in life when you are little, you run after that when you're grown. I've seen examples. Like I don't want to discuss about that, but I read biographies and all that, and see even in my circle of friends, जो आपको नहीं मिला बचपन में वही चीज आपको चाहिए. What you didn't get in life, what you had, that's what you want. So I personally think I have no intention. I talk to my friends also who suggest me business ideas. तो मैं बोलती हूँ भाई ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है. I'm happy writing and I'm happy क्योंकि share के करके कुछ you can do something like, but that's not my cup of tea. I'm not made for that. क्या स्वधर्म, that is called स्वधर्म.
Yes.
ये मेरे स्वधर्म ही नहीं है. It's not in my personal capabilities or in my personal, like I'm not made for that. तो मेरे को करना ही नहीं है क्योंकि कर भी लोगे तो क्या होगा, आप पैसे कमाओगे. पैसे कमाना मेरा एम है ही नहीं लाइफ में. I'm happy with what little I have, and I want to tell everybody that don't run after money. Money definitely is resources in Upanishad, but at the end of the day वो मिल गया, health चली गई, फिर क्या? You got that and health is gone. Enough to survive a comfortable life and then do what you like to do, because life is really short. पता नहीं कब खत्म हो. Obviously it's a circle and you born again, and that's another philosophy, but life is really short. पलक झपकाते ही कब 20 से 40 हुए पता ही नहीं चलेगा. When were you 20? When you became 40? You will not realize it. Like for example me, I just came to Norway when I was 24. I was a young girl and I was also very ambitious and career oriented and all that. At the end of the day I realized that suddenly I'm 40 and अभी 20 साल में पता ही नहीं चलेगा. 60 की हो जाऊंगी and the life is almost over. So वो करने को अच्छा लगता है. एक दौड़ है, दौड़ कमाने के लिए. There is a race, but not to earn resources. There is a race to earn virtue. आपने क्या कमाया जिंदगी में, क्या कमाया, virtues have you earned? That is the race. So yeah, in simple, but definitely make sure that you have a comfortable life. नहीं तो मुश्किल हो जाती है. Because philosophy वही करता है जिसका पेट भरा हुआ हो. That's I learned that from Osho. I used to listen to him, and he said India has to come to a point that poverty line से above तो कम से कम होना ही है, and सभी को कम से कम पेट भर खाना मिले. Then people talk about philosophy. America में from 18, 17, 19th century, not 17, 18, 19th century, when Swami Vivekanand, Yoganand. Why? Because they were, उनका पेट भरा हुआ था. They were full in the stomach.
They were full.
So they,
Yes.
तो philosophy तभी आती है जब पेट भरा हुआ हो. तो इतना करो कि पेट भर जाए. एक रिसोर्स आता रहे. 40 तक तो हो जाना चाहिए. By 40 we all should have an income, a resource, a source where you can live a comfortable life, you know. And काम करो 20 to 40, 20 साल से 20-21 में आपका ग्रेजुएशन हो गया, 40 तक करो, and then उसके बाद start taking retirement. Retirement means do what you like to do, and there should be an income which source you're living. That is very important. So
Ma'am, very true. Rightly said. No, rightly said, ma'am. Needed to hear this.
No, I don't look so old because of my chubbiness or whatever, but I have realized with time, कब पता ही नहीं चला 20 साल कहाँ लग गए. 19 years I'm living in Norway. लगता अभी कल ही आई थी.
Yeah.
Although kids are growing so fast, so पता ही नहीं चलता कि हाँ, they were born now and grown. But even myself, I was in 20s just yesterday, and I'm in 40s now. So time grow fast, and
very
the problem comes 40 के बाद शुरू हो जाता है. Regular checkup करवाना, sugar and all that. So very important. Health comes first. Earn virtues in life. Do well for others. Always wish good for others and yourself. हर चीज अच्छा है अगर आप अच्छे हो. If you're good, everyone is good to you.
Everyone is good. Right. Right. And there will be no point of judging also anyone, I think. Once we start thinking like that.
That is a total different,
Yeah.
A funny part is my daughter, my little daughter who's 7, who was saying, "Mom, you're judging me." I'm like, OMG, where did you learn that word? That little girl telling about judging, and
judging,
that person judge me. And I'm like, where do you learn all these words from? So it's a total different thing. But judging is
so far. Yeah.
So.
And also, ma'am, you shared your diary with the world. So I want to know what it takes for a writer or an author to take such daunting steps. Sharing something with that world can also cause harm to one's personality.
No,
so
it's
you have feared or what?
I'm not fear for anything in life. Like there is a phrase I recently wrote. I don't remember. मुझे याद नहीं रहती. I write. I don't remember. I have to read it myself. तभी याद रहता है. But fear is something I'm never afraid of. किसी से मुझे डर नहीं लगता. डर लगता है if somebody is really crazy, psychopathic people, that makes me crazy. Horror film, किसी का डराना, I'm not scared of that. That is another part of the story. But first of all, not a part of my diary. It's a more polished part of my diary, you can say. You know, it's not my diary. I have written it myself, recollecting the thoughts and making it in 8 days. क्योंकि आप अपनी private चीज बाहर नहीं ला सकते. That's your thing. But I have polished it and I have made it more presentable कि ये दिखाए, ये दुनिया को दिखा सकते हैं. So this is what it is. So and I'm sure कि people will like it कि विचार हैं, किसी के विचार हैं, somebody's thought it is, and it's just sharing to the world. कुछ हम ख्याल लोग पढ़ लें, मेरे लिए यही बहुत. Same.
Right.
What reads it, that is more than enough for me, you know. So yeah.
True, very true. Also, ma'am, both of your books are short and easy to read, which we call a very short read in shortly, if you have to say. So, are you in favor of such a style of writing?
Poetries are short. Yeah, I like short because poetries are short and more abstract. The thought of a poet. So I have like one para tells whole years of my life. Like in my first book, मेरा तो ये मैं भी नहीं. तो एक पैरा में वो सब कुछ सम्मिलित है. Everything is संक्षिप्त में लिखा है. It's in short, subtle way में. It is written everything in little words. And I'm not a person who, like, अगर, for example, if I'm talking to somebody and I have to explain something, I speak in one line, and that is more than enough. I don't give blah blah blah. ये नहीं. I just speak. That's my personality. मैं थोड़ा बोलती हूँ, कम बोलती हूँ, but I speak what I mean to and what means to the person, which gives a good fact. So I'm a person who's a sankshipt, more what is that English word? I'm going out of words because too many language I speak. What is that word? What will we say that in English? It's more concrete and more.
Crisp.
Anyways, huh?
Is
means
it crisp? You want to say crisp
not
or condensed or compressed? There are so many words.
Compressed. We can say in one line telling everything. एक शब्द
Yeah.
बोल दिया. You know, I'm like, I always do that. So,
Yeah. Talking with you, like I can understand, because we are almost at the end of a session, and you answered all these questions so beautifully. So I really understood that you talk only things which are necessary. You don't talk too much. You don't talk too little also, because that's great, ma'am. Great, because talking too much, it lands up to nothing sometimes. Because people cannot understand. Because we actually talk, ma'am, to make the other people understand or know that what we want to convey. And so if we talk too much and if we talk too less, then both the things are very much dangerous. Very much dangerous.
I would like to add one thing in that when it comes to concrete and comprehensive writing. I write little, I read little. Like अगर मुझे किसी का imagination पढ़ना है, if I have to read an imagination, for example, a novel, I never read novel. Because it's an imagination and I have enough of my own. So what I do is I go to Google and read the summary. अच्छा ये कहानी है, okay. अगर कोई अच्छा नाट्य है, if there is a nice play which has been portrayed emotions and love, lyrical way, हर word में meaning है, like Henrik Ibsen का एक, there is a very famous writer, author, playwright and all that. Norway का is a national poet, one of the. उसकी कहानी Dukeus means doll home. उसका शायद translation है. तो वो पढ़ना, वो इतनी अच्छी कहानी है, सबकी कहानी है. It's like my book. It tells about everybody. That Dukeus, Google करना. Dukeus means doll home. Google करना. It tells about every family. In short, I'll tell कि that will be going in. It will distract. But the point is, if there is a play like that, which is an imagination of somebody, lovely. I will put my time. Actually, coming to this phase of my life, I think one thing I lack always is time. एक चीज हमेशा कम लगती है, वो है समय. I always think कि आज 2 घंटे और मिल जाते. Today I wish I get 2 hours more, 4 hours more. So I preserve my time. जैसे कि एक इकोन मतलब एक गिलहरी मूंगफली को बचा के रखती है ना सर्दियों के लिए, वैसे मैं समय को बचाती हूँ. How to save time. This is very important. So I do things which are only necessary, which are very, which gives me something, some knowledge, some information or something, then only I do. So I don't waste time at all. Time is very precious. So I'm sure everybody knows it, but it's just, I want to say कि time एक चीज है जो कहीं नहीं मिल सकती, जो चली गई सो चली गई. So yeah. So
very. And also you talk about the time, so I just want to add something with this, that is the time management. I think it's very much important for everyone to manage time successfully, because we cannot manage time successfully. We are getting ample time, or sometimes we run out of time and we think that okay, so let it be for tomorrow. And we just keep saying these things to ourselves. But actually at the end of the day, time management is very much important, and we all must learn it successfully. This is what I want to add.
My friend Sangeeta has come online and she's correcting me. Dukke hus nahi hai, dukke yem hai. That's correct. Dukke hus nahi hai, dukke yem hai.
Okay, she's a friend.
That Sangeeta is my friend.
Okay. Yeah. She's in the comment section. Yeah.
Dukke yem. Yem hus is same like home. Yem means home and hus means house. Norwegian is very similar to English, but the rich old Norwegian is a different part. It's a totally different story, but it's very similar to English. So dukke yem means dukke home, doll home, not doll house, doll home.
Okay. Got it, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Last but not the least, ma'am, we would like to hear from you about that, when you started writing and when you realized the author in you was pushing you to show up.
When was that? What is the question?
We would like to hear from you about when you started writing.
Oh, okay.
And when you realized the author in you was pushing you to show up. Your first writing or anything.
I write from I was very little, young, matlab nursery
Okay.
se I have
Okay.
this interest in writing and speaking. I love to speak. Speak means public speaking. So I'm sorry about that sound. My husband is closing. So, but the actual writing, जिसमें कि एक fully fledged कविता जो कहते हैं हिंदी में, that was when I was 14 or something. School पे I used to write poetry. जब teachers बोलते थे अच्छा ये इस तरह के भाव हैं अभी लिखो इसमें, तो लिख देती थी. But then suddenly at the age of 15 I realized कि हाँ अब लिखना है. Then I started writing poetries और दोस्तों को poetry gift में कर दिया birthday में. I write a poem for my friend and birthday में वो gift कर दिया इससे कि कुछ chocolate या कुछ लेने के बजाय. That was my way of I remember my friends late in my life sent my poetry back to me because I never had a copy of it. I write, I give it away. I got it back, my poetry. I'm like, yaar, ye to kamal ho gaya, karma. Whatever you send out, it comes back to you with additional features, you know. So I write from I was 15 and I love to write. And from little, my friends have been saying, apni kavita publish kar. But nahi hua. Finally, यही करना था, यही हुआ.
Yeah.
This is what was bound to happen and it happened, you know.
It's a very wonderful story, and your books are very much relatable actually. Like when I started reading, I can relate so well.
Yeah.
I just was thinking that something very much like too much unique so that readers cannot connect. Sometimes it happens with the readers that I have read till date at least ma'am more than 200 books till
Wow.
date I have read.
Wow.
So I can really understand that this connection is very much important. Without this connection between the authors and readers, no ma'am, this is very really difficult for us because we cannot relate to something and we cannot speak about it with anyone, whoever, a friend, our parents, relatives, family, whoever we want to talk about. We cannot speak about the particular book because we don't have anything common with what author said or mentioned. But I really felt very much connected with the words, with the feelings, with the emotions you portrayed in your book.
Thanks a lot.
So thank you once again, ma'am, and many congratulations, ma'am, for the news you gave in the live session and also for both of your books. We wish you all the best, ma'am. Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot. Thanks a lot.
much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So
thanks a
ending
lot.
today's session here.
Yeah, thanks a lot to all those who joined, and thanks a lot who will see the video later on.
Yes.
I suppose you
Yes.
have to put that video in your history, in your
Yes.
timeline. That will
Yes.
be nice, and I would also try to post that in my Facebook profile. Thanks a lot to everyone who joined, and bye bye from Norway, and we'll meet again possibly.
For sure, ma'am. For sure. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful and insightful session that we had with you today. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot
Thanks
to
a lot.
you.
Bye.
And that's such a nice session. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.